This is M-Dog20, Matt Cross. We're in Cleveland, Ohio, and you were checking out Beyond the Ring with my man, Big T. Thank you, man. Big T.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
This is the bad boy Joey Janela, and you're watching Beyond the Ring. Big T.
Hello everybody, how you all doing out there tonight? Welcome to the show. Of course, you know me, I'm your host Big T right here with all of you right here tonight. Welcome to episode number 481 of the Beyond the Ring with Big T Wrestling podcast here for today, Thursday, December 29th, 2022. And I got a special guest here with me tonight, guys. Finally got another interview going, and I am very excited to say that I have with me, if you guys are familiar with AIW, Absolute Intense Wrestling, the most intense wrestling in the United States, and in Cleveland, Ohio, indie-based company, awesome place, love it, and, love what they do. And I'm here with one of their wrestlers tonight. We have Mr. Mason Shaw with us tonight. Mason, how you doing?
How's it going, Big T? I'm very excited to be here today.
Hey, I'm doing great, man. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I remember seeing you at the show, and as soon as you reached out for an interview, I was beyond happy to take it, and I'm excited.
Hey, it's a pleasure, and we're going to start this off here, so are you ready?
I'm ready.
So, first off, let's get into how did all this come about? What made you decide, hey, I want to become a professional wrestler? What made you fall in love with this line of work?
Well, with professional wrestling, Big T, I was a huge fan as a kid. Obviously, brothers loved it, friends loved it, the neighbors all around. It was amazing the moment that I set eyes on it. I remember sitting around one day, and somehow, some way, I had a tube TV with basic cable. I really don't know how I found it on my TV. But the first match I remember seeing was like Finley versus Booker T, and I think it was Finley with Booker T against the steel steps, and I was like, oh man, dude, that's so cool. And then my friend, neighbor, he had WWE SmackDown versus Brawl, and I just couldn't put the controller down. And I've been a fan ever since, collecting wrestlers, video games, wrestling DVDs, whatever it was, ever since. I've also been amateur wrestling since I was 5 years old. My family's a huge wrestling family, and the uncles, the brothers, cousins, whatever it is. And COVID kind of came around, and I think about maybe a year before, maybe it was the same year. I had gone to a show, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Actually, someone who stood out to me was Wes Barker. Wasn't necessarily on the card, but he did something very memorable, and It happened to be fighting with a fan, and I thought that was really cool, that engaging experience. And when COVID happened and, college wrestling was put on pause, I had the opportunity to kind of talk to some of the guys at AIW because I remember seeing them. And I just signed up and I started wrestling, and I hit the gas pedal ever since.
Oh, very interesting. Now I'm gonna get into more questions here with you.
Awesome.
So, looking at this right here, ultimately, who is your dream opponent? Do you feel as though you are deserving of already being on that level, or do you feel you still have work left to do and to achieve that dream and desire?
Well, Big T, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been a student of wrestling ever since I started, whether that's amateur wrestling, pro wrestling, whatever it may be. I feel like I will always, always, always be learning. Outside of wrestling, I really do want to be a teacher. That's something I aspire to be. And I feel like even as a teacher, I'll always be a student. As a coach, not only will I be coaching others, I'll still be the person getting coached. Because it's just something you don't ever stop developing as a person, as a wrestler, as a human being. You're just always getting better each and every day. That should be the goal, at least I believe.
Nice.
In terms of like who I want to wrestle, I don't know if obviously we could play the fantasy game and be like, oh, who in the WWE do I want to wrestle? Well, I would love to take an RKO from Randy Orton if he, in fact, is healthy and still around by the time I, realistically can get to the company. Obviously, that's a dream of mine. But I like to set goals for myself. I want to go, who can I wrestle in AIW? Who can I wrestle on AEW, maybe? Who can I wrestle just like on the independent scene that are stars that I'm looking forward to wrestling? I think if I look at AIW, I really want to go against those who have trained me, who have pushed me to be the best that I could be, the student to teacher game. I want to go against guys like Don Carini. I want to go against guys like Derek Dillinger. You know what I mean? Guys that I want to go against Wes Barkley one more. I want another shot at Wes Barkley. I thought my debut, I want to give him more. I think I had more to give Wes Barkley. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are just guys that I think that I could have really good matches with. That could we could push the limit. And maybe if I get those dream matches that I get to wrestle guys that I watched when I was a kid, that's just that more fulfilling. So I think if I got to wrestle guys like that, like Chad Gable, if I ever got to wrestle Chad Gable, I think that'd be really cool. Just because of similar styles, you know what I mean? Chad Gable has done a lot. I mean, he's a very decorative Roman Greco wrestler as well as, on the WWE. And I just think it's by the time that I get, because I truly do believe that I could get there. By the time I get to the WWE, I think some of the guys I truly dreamed to wrestle may not be there anymore, for better or for worse, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Now, is your goal to get anywhere that will give you the most exposure?
I've always had this mindset that I'm willing to wrestle anywhere and everywhere, no matter who it is or what the stipulation is. I just love wrestling. I love being in front of the crowd. I love being in front of the fans. Whether it's me being the face here, whatever it is, whoever they want to cheer for me or boo for me that day, whatever they wake up feeling, I'm down for it. I just love everyone coming together and sharing that experience. We all truly just love those kids, and I'm all for it.
Gotcha. Now, do you have a day job that supports yourself as you are pursuing your dream?
I'm currently a student right now. Try to do as much work as possible. You might catch me at the Exchange. You might catch me at the Exchange, which is a music, movie, game store. I'm really in vinyl, video games, and in movies. So that's also something, place of work that you might catch me at.
Okay. With the hundreds of wrestlers out there loaded with in-ring experience and talent, how do you feel is the best way to promote yourself, experience and talent? How do you feel is the best way to promote yourself and rise above those that are already featured but are seemingly undeserving of their position?
That's tough. I feel like a lot of these wrestlers work very hard to get to where they're at. And, AIW locker room, I just want to shed light on, filled with guys that are just straight up talented, hardworking, and dedicated to what they do. And to answer your question, I think I would just say opportunity. I just want if I get the one moment, please. If I get the opportunity to square up with one of these we'll say champions, right? These top guys in the company. If I get that opportunity to square up against them, I just want to showcase my talent. So the first things first is just getting that opportunity to show what I'm about. And I know if I get that chance, with absolute being humble and everything, I believe that I'll be able to showcase my talents.
All right. Nice. Now, do you feel that politics has become a major force in deciding who is employed by these major promotions?
No. These major promotions, just their job is to get in the best talent.
Okay.
And I feel like there's so much talent out here in this world, and there's a lot of networking involved, a lot of friendships and relationships made along the way, and I just think it's just talent being brought in along the way, and I would be very happy to offer one of these companies my own talent.
Okay. Now also here, because I do have notes, because I did come prepared.
Nice.
If there is work to do, what is your plan to attend that dream? Have you already formed relationships in any promotion that can further your career more quickly than if they did not exist? Any promotion. Any promotion. Let's see. My thing moved on me here. I accidentally scrolled through my notes. Sorry about that.
You're okay. You're okay.
Let's see. I'm trying to find where I was at here. Let's see. Formed relationships in any promotion that can further your career more quickly than if they did not exist. Any promotion. They can further your career more quickly than if they did not exist. Or get your foot in the door.
Well, I'll say that AIW specifically, they are filled with amazing relationships and networking that I feel like I'm doing a lot of the right things right off the gate, because I was trained by very good people. There's a lot of good people that are in the AIW support system. I feel like a lot of really highly respected names have come through, have been a part of AIW for years, and I think we're in a really good spot. So I just got to keep working hard, both character-wise, professional-wise, physicality. I feel like I just got to keep improving every aspect that I have every single day. And I think the way that I was just brought up through AIW and, to help with other promotions as well and the relationships that I made, I feel like we're heading in the right direction.
Who is helping you at this moment?
I was trained by Dominic Arena. I was trained by Derek Dillinger.
Okay.
I've been tremendously helped out by each and every member on the roster, and we have an excellent promoter in John Thorne, and I just feel we continuously get the best advice there is, and just to make sure that we're always have a good head on our shoulders, and we're willing to work hard, and we're doing what's best for the business of wrestling.
And are you being mentored? Like, do you have like a mentor, like one person that you go to, they take you under their wing? Who's your mentor?
I would say there's just, and it goes back, the AIW as a whole, they're just filled with people that are willing to help and support you. I feel like I could sit here for an hour and tell you all of the people in AIW that help me and mentor me on a daily basis that I message, talk to. Dom Greeny being one of them, Derek Dillinger being another. Shout out members only. They're some of my best pals. I always ask. Josh Navarro. The list just goes on and on. Because that's just, I think AIW is special. That's just what AIW is. I've met a lot of great people at other promotions that also continues to help me. Shout out to them. But I think it's very important to kind of shout out who trained me, and the AIW family is just very special.
So within AIW, you have like a lot of people supporting you, a lot of people helping you.
Most definitely. They push us to be the best that we can be.
Okay. Now, here's a question. What is some advice that you have been given that as ordinary viewers and fans would love to know?
Ooh, that's a great one. I think two things right off the bat. From a student perspective, always listen. Take in everything.
Okay.
Take in everything. I think number two, along with taking in everything, is when you're out there with that crowd, take that in. Be in the moment. I really try to be in the moment because there's a lot going on in a wrestling match. But I think it's very important to be in the moment. And last thing's a very important one that I kind of been taught is, I'm still trying to learn as I go on. Drawing a blank, I just had it in my head.
Oh, no problem.
It's be in the moment. Listen, take it in. I'm kind of drawing a blank right here, but maybe we'll get back to that.
Okay, yeah, you know what? If you think of it, we'll go back to that, and we'll move on to this question. I know that you just started with AIW in August, so you're about 4.5 months in. And I'm going to ask this question right off the bat to find out what your goals and your desires are. Is your main goal to get out of the indie circuit, or is that where you've found yourself most comfortable?
Well, I feel like it's a lot of wrestlers' goal, at least right off the get-go, is to make it television, make it a TV. Like, I want to see my wrestling figure in the aisles at Walmart. Like, that is my personal goal. And call me crazy, I believe that it's going to happen. Like, I'm going to work very hard until it does happen, and I'm going to remain humble, 100%. I just truly, I have a dream, and I don't want to wish it to happen. I want to do what it takes to make it happen, and that's just that. I truly do believe that I was made to do this.
Okay, awesome. Now, do you take the time to study the people that you received this advice from? It is society. Not everyone has a greatest reputation. We all know that.
Not only study, like, if someone tells me something, obviously if it's a seminar, I had that luxury of writing it down. But if someone tells me some really, really good advice, or maybe not, I haven't really ran into that part yet, but
okay.
I try to talk it through. I try to talk it through with others, kind of get their opinions, like, hey, like, how does this apply to you? What does this mean? Am I understanding this? And I just want to shout out that AIW support system again. Like, I'm constantly like talking things through. Like, hey, this is kind of what happened, or this is what I've learned. This is what I'm not understanding, and just having that ability to talk through things is such an important aspect of pro wrestling.
Okay.
So yeah, just talking through things, everything that I've learned. That's how I study, and I like watching my matches back, so that next time Cisco tries to go for a rear naked chokehold, he's not going to get that rear naked chokehold. Or maybe I forgot to tie my left shoe, and maybe try that a little tighter next time. You know what I mean?
There you go. Now, if your goal is to make the most money possible to support the people that you love the most, is your goal to make the most money possible to support the people that you love the most, or to find happiness in the dream that you have?
Happiness. Money's going to be, I told you, if, my outside goal outside of wrestling was to be a teacher, money was never a concern.
Okay.
Not a concern, but not a priority. I just want to be happy in what I do. I truly believe in being happy your whole life and doing things that make you happy. And listen to any podcast, you'll know that pro wrestling, you don't make that much money in pro wrestling. It's all about the desire you have and what you're willing to put into it, not really get out of it. So yeah, I just want to live my dream, and because this is simply what I love doing.
And especially in the indies, I know how it is. I've heard the stories like, you guys could go out there and wrestle for $20 a night, in front of the crowd, and spill your blood, sweat, and tears, and everybody's ready to move to the next town and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Now, do you have another plan if this dream never comes to fruition? Just hypothetically. I mean, we all believe in you, I believe in you, but just, hypothetically, do you have another plan if this dream never comes to fruition?
Well, Big T, my mom passed away 5 years ago, and I made a promise that I was just going to follow my dreams no matter what that was, and I was going to make her proud. That's why I'm pursuing this wrestling career, and I truly believe that I'm dedicating things to her when I do so. Now, I also made a promise that I was going to graduate college, and at least on that side of the family, I'd be the first to do so. And along with that college degree will be hopefully what is a pathway to being a teacher as well. So I would say that becoming a teacher is definitely a goal and aspiration of mine, as well as being a pro wrestler.
Okay, so yeah, backup plan. If pro wrestler by chance wouldn't work, then it's teacher.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, also, I think it's a great plan, because you always got to have a backup plan, no matter how confident you are in your abilities, you always got to have something else there, in your mind. And it's great that you have that. Like, I don't know if you know, Mason, when I was in the front row at that show and I saw, you wrestle for the first time, I was sitting next to your sister.
Oh yeah, that I do recall. I
was right next to your sister, and she was cheering you on, and it was just a fun time. And I remember
you got 2 shows for the price of 1 ticket, man.
Oh, your sister had the crowd going. I never seen anything like it. Really in pro wrestling, indie wrestling, like one person, how she got that whole crowd to just start stand up and chant and get behind you. I mean, she really orchestrated, like put the crowd in her hands to get behind you. It was awesome.
You know, I want to take a moment to shout out my sister T. And speaking about the AIW support system, can I talk about my friends and family and my support system? I gotta shout them out one of these days, right? Between my girlfriend, my brothers, my sisters, my aunts, uncles, friends, family, everybody that shows up, I can't do that without them. There's no Shawn Mason Nation without the nation, and I love them. I really can't do this without them, and they back me up 100% of the time. I was just with them, and the fact that they can come up to me and support me, having been amateur wrestling my whole life, now I'm pro wrestling, it doesn't matter what I do. They're behind me 100%, and I think that's what you're going to get at a lot of these shows. You're going to get Shawn Mason fans cheering me on no matter what I'm doing, and that's what drives me. That is what feeds me to keep going. So shout out to all of them.
Because, you know, someone wrote in and told me that no matter how famous you are today, the Rapid Fish in Chinatown, you know, and your accomplishments tomorrow. Do you get what I'm saying?
I could kind of get the idea.
All right, cool. Now, does do those key people that you're mentioning make a big deal about that? Everything that you were just mentioning.
Do they make like a big deal in terms of social media, or like do they represent proudly? How so?
Like everything, you know, your career, your social media, yeah, representing proudly, all that.
Oh, most definitely. I'll tell you a story real quick. My girlfriend's sister, we were opening presents on Christmas, and she was wearing my debut Shawn Mason t-shirt, and I was just like, oh my God, like, there's someone wearing my t-shirt right now, and I'm going to remember this forever. I'll go to work, and I'll see someone wearing a Shawn Mason t-shirt, and I go, are you kidding me? Like, I did that, and it was because of them. Like, they're supporting me right now. Like, they make a huge deal about it. Anytime I share a post of like how we're gonna have matches for AIW or whatever it may be, I have friends and family hitting that share button to make sure that it's being viewed across all platforms.
Okay.
And they just always been so supportive my whole life.
Now I have to ask you this, Mason. You know, we just mentioned like the positive side of social media, but to every positive, you know, we all know there's a negative, and we got to touch on that. Does social media affect your family, even if it's negative comments? Because, you know, this business does require thick skin above anything else.
Hey, Big T, any publicity is good publicity. I've learned that a long time ago. I'm very fortunate to where I feel like I maybe haven't had to experience some of those things, but hey, I think I can handle some constructive criticism, or at least frame it to be that way.
As long as your name is on somebody's lips, right? You're being talked about.
I'm doing my job. Yes, I am.
Awesome. Now, we all know that the larger you become, the bigger star you are. You know, somewhere, someday, controversy will surround you at some point. It happens to everybody. How would you plan to handle that if that was to happen to you?
Well, I'm going to stay as professional as possible. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that these situations don't happen. Because at the end of the day, I want what's best for me. I want what's best for everybody else. And if there ever came a time to where controversy was at hand, honesty is key, and so is communication. So let's sit down and talk about it.
Okay. Now, what I do want to get out there, because this is so vitally important. we went through the questions. We might get back to some more in a little bit, before we close out here. But what I want to know, and what I want my viewers to know most importantly, you're a young wrestler in this business. You work for an incredible company in AIW. Top notch. Where can people find you so that they, more people know about Mason Shaw and where you promote your brand and everything like that? Where can you be found and where could you be heard?
Well, if you want to look me up on Instagram, you can search Shaw Mason Wrestling. You can search Shaw Mason on Facebook, and you can definitely search Shaw Mason _ on Twitter. Also, a really good place to check out that you might see some Shaw Mason personnel would be The Exchange, which is a great music, movie, video game, and memorabilia store. Coolest place on earth. Hopefully there's some tie-ins there, as The Exchange is now sponsoring AIW. Shout out to both of those brands. So yeah, if you want to find out more about Shaw Mason, go and hit up the socials.
Okay, awesome. And one plug that I could give you guys too for the wrestling, for AIW. I just got the network, about a month ago now, when actually Hell on Earth 17 came around, and, that's when I was at that show. Fight Plus. That is where you could catch every single AIW show. You can watch all the great talent of AIW along with Shaw Mason.
Most definitely, that's how my friends and family who can't make it to the show, they watch it live, cheer me on, and my fellow wrestlers in the locker room, as well as that's how I watch back my matches to learn from. Fight Plus is amazing.
And I apologize. I was calling you Mason. I thought it was Mason Shaw. It's Shaw Mason. I apologize.
No, it's all good. I figured Shaw Mason is the name. Shaw Mason all day.
Awesome. Now, I gotta ask you this. we all know, goals, aspirations, everything like that. But if you had to choose one promotion, I'm gonna put you on the spot with ultimate dream here. If you could work for one promotion and wrestle one opponent, who would it be and which promotion would it be?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I could choose a promotion. The reason being is because I'm open to wrestling for anybody. And if anyone comes, is listening out there, I want to wrestle for you. I don't want to pick one over the other. I want to wrestle everywhere. Now, who do I want to wrestle? Who's someone that I can, who I want to, let's just say a dream match? I stumbled across social media the other day, and I saw two, maybe independent promotions promoting Carlito was one, and I go, man, that'd be so cool to wrestle Carlito. I think it's doable. We could do this. So I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm gonna say, I want to wrestle Carlito.
Okay.
Alex Shelley's another one. Lee Moriarty. So some of the guys that I've seen on the independent circuit that I really enjoy wrestling.
Now, what about your top 3 suggestions of talent that has something to offer your audience positive vibes?
Top 3 talent?
Yes.
In terms of who I think are really good wrestlers?
That has something to offer, positive vibes. Gives that feel good, positive vibes. You know what I mean?
Maserati West Barkley. Anytime you go watch a Maserati West Barkley match, you know that the energy is going to be there. The crowd's going to get behind him, and he's that natural, charismatic character. I think someone as the likes of Derek Dillinger, whether you love him or you hate him, he's always going to bring that intensity. Hence why he's the intense champion in AIW. And I think someone that's good to shout out is, we're gonna go Bear Shark. I want to shout out Bear Shark because I know that Bear Shark, even though me and him has had some tension in the past, like he's a really hard worker. And I know that if we square up in the ring once more, it's gonna be something a very, very strong battle. So shout out to Bear Shark for being a hard worker. Unfortunately, I would never join Bear Shark martial arts. Totally against it. But shout out Bear Shark.
Okay. What are your feelings on intergender wrestling?
I'm all for it. All for intergender wrestling. I'm a man that believes in equality for all, and anybody who steps in the ring should be able to perform in front of the crowd. And someone who I've seen, at least in AIW, that has done multiple intergender matches is Jocelyn Navarro. Jocelyn Navarro is amazing at what she does. For any strike that I could throw, Jocelyn Navarro could probably throw it 5 times harder. Anything that I could do, Jocelyn Navarro can probably do it 3 times better. Jocelyn Navarro is someone who has helped me out a lot in terms of learning professional wrestling and professionalism around professional wrestling. So I think it's a great experience for all intergender wrestling, and I think society as a whole should get on board with it too if they haven't already. It's great, it's entertaining, and at the end of the day, it's a damn wrestling match, and I love it.
Awesome. Now, as far as your upcoming match at AIW, what is it, Jet Black New Year, the name of the show?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about your match and everything coming up in the feud and everything.
I'm not going to lie to you. I had filthy Tom Lawler for the second time, and he's a badass. He really is. His strikes are harder than anyone's have ever taken. His moves, so efficient, and he's a great person to work with. This is our second time going against each other. I took the hard loss the first time at Wrestle Rager. I gave it a lot. I gave it almost everything that I had. But I think this time, I'm coming a little bit more prepared. I'm doing this one in the name of my mom. I really am. Everything I have, motivation is going to be for her this match. Dedicating it solely to her. And Filthy Tom Lawler coming with everything that I have. And I hope that everyone that's coming to watch is ready for a brawl, because that's exactly what they're going to get.
And I love the fact that, you dedicate all these matches that you do to your mom. Again, I'm, condolences and sorry for your loss. But, you're keeping her in your heart and you're keeping her memory alive, and that's what counts.
ABT.
And, again here. Now, Shaw, I would like to ask you, sometime down the line, would you be willing to come back, because this interview is generating, actually a lot of inbox questions already that I don't have time to get into tonight, and we don't want this to go on for a marathon.
Big T, I would be more than happy to come back to answer everyone's questions, each and every single one of them.
And hey, maybe next time, never know, it's up to Shaw, but Shaw, also you're more than welcome once I figure it out too, and maybe we can practice it on and perfect it. Maybe even next time we could see you on camera right next to me and kind of do a face-to-face.
More than happy to, Big T. More than happy to.
All right, and one more time here, everybody. This is Shaw Mason. You can check him out. AIW, Jet Black New Year. Actually, wait a minute. It's tomorrow, December 30th. Friday, December 30th. Where are you guys at now? Because I know you were supposed to be at the Odeon in Cleveland, and then the show was moved. Where did it get moved to again?
We are in Akron, Ohio at the Tadmore Shrine.
Akron, Ohio, Tadmore Shrine. If you didn't get your tickets for the show to check out a great young star like Shaw Mason and the rest that AIW has to offer, make sure you go down there, get your tickets, support. And then for those of you that aren't going to the show, you could be like me and get Fight Plus, subscribe to it, and you can check out any AIW show you want whenever they're live. So lots of great stuff. And Shaw, if you have any last plugs of yourself that you'd like to throw in, go right ahead, and then we will wrap it up.
Thank you, Big T. I just want to say I'm very, very grateful and humbled that you have me on your show, and I'm very happy to come back. Everyone listening at home, please feel free to follow me on the social medias. On Instagram, it is Shaw Mason Wrestling. Twitter is Shaw Mason _, and Facebook is Shaw Mason. Thank you guys so much.
Shaw, it's a pleasure having you. I'm so excited for when we do our next interview. Really, I am.
Me as well, Big T. Me as well.
Thank you for coming on. And then just stay right here, and I'll be back with you as soon as I get off the air, okay?
Sounds good, man.
All right, again, ladies and gentlemen, Shaw Mason. A big thank you to Shaw Mason of AIW, Absolute Intense Wrestling. Go check him out tomorrow night, December 30th, at Jet Black New Year at the Tadmore Shrine in Akron, Ohio. If you can't make it, subscribe to Fight Plus and check him out there. And we'll have Shaw Mason back in a future episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Had a very great time tonight. Thank you very much for checking out episode number 481 of the Beyond the Ring with Big T Wrestling podcast here for today, Thursday, December 29th, 2022. And, of course, everybody, hope you enjoyed the show. Great to be back on here. And Shaw, looking forward to having you back on soon, buddy. And I'll talk to you in a little bit when I get off here.
Yes, sir, Big T. I'll talk to you.
All right. And, folks, of course, you guys know how it works, right? Always remember and never, ever forget that I'm your host, Big T, and I will see all of you at the matches. So, of course, take care, everybody. I love you all, and good night, everybody.
This is M-Dog20, Matt Cross. We're in Cleveland, Ohio, and you are checking out Beyond the Ring with my man, Big T. Thank you, man. Big T.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
This is the bad boy Joey Janela, and you're watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.